Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good day. And I am super excited because I'm teaching how to play my song Red Roses, um, which is super cool. And before I started, I just wanted to say that the tutorial is probably going to be a little bit on the longer side, but I don't want that to scare anyone because this is a really simple song. It's just for my own songs, I really want to go in depth and I really want to like teach like every tip and trick I can along the way to help you guys just like learning guitar in general. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to like treat this tutorial more of an opportunity for me to teach you guys a lot of the things that I know about guitar, while simultaneously teaching you how to play one of my songs, which I think is a cool opportunity. But yeah, I hope that I don't talk like too much or too confusing. I'm always open to criticism in the comments. Also, I don't really have that much formal education on guitar. I've been playing for a long time. I kind of know what I know. Um, if I say something incorrect, please correct me. I'm open to that. Very open to that. I know that I don't know everything. I know that I don't know a lot, to be honest. But I do know really cool things that I know for a fact would be beneficial towards like a beginner or intermediate guitar player. So, without further ado, let's get into the song. We are going to be having our capo on the fourth fret of the guitar. If you don't have a capo, no worries at all. Follow along with exactly with what I'm doing. I'm gonna explain it in terms of like this would be 0 3 2 0 0 0 0. I would explain it the same exact way as I would down here. Um, yeah, you please feel free to play along if you don't have a capo. I get it. I would recommend you get one. But for this song, we're gonna have one up here. Rule number one. Rule number one. We're gonna tune our guitar every chance we get. I learned that guitars go out of tune very fast. Whenever you put a capo on the guitar, it's gonna tighten the tension of the strings. It's gonna make it sharp. You're playing it a bunch. That's gonna loosen the strings. It's gonna make it flat. You're gonna get all weird types of noises. Rule of thumb: just tune every like 10 minutes, every 20 minutes. Especially if you hear something, like just take the tiny amount of time it takes to tune. I learned that after finally getting a decent ear for music. I finally like heard and like especially if you're like because I taught myself to sing through a guitar. If you're teaching yourself to do that, make sure it's in tune because otherwise you're gonna be singing and practicing to sing in an off key or off. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You just don't want to sing like that. So just make sure it's in tune. We're doing standard for this song, so E A D G B E. Good way to remember that. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Very easy way to remember that. So anyway, I'm gonna start with the chord shapes and how spacing works. This is probably the most important lesson that I could teach with some of my knowledge that I have right now. And then after I cover all the chords and how shaping works with these chords, I'll get into the actual song. So if you want to skip ahead, you already know all this, please do go for it. But yeah, so this chord is I don't know if it's called like a C sus or something like that. I don't know, but it's 0 0. So sorry. Let's start over. 0 3 2 0 0 0. That is just like a C chord, because a C chord would be 0 3 2. It'd be the same exact thing, just with the index finger on the first fret of the B string. And why I like this chord so much when you lift it off, it's just nice because you get the same noise kind of, but without that higher note in there. So it kind of brings it down a little bit, mellows it out, makes it a little bit sadder. Um, that's just why I choose to do a lot of that stuff. I like a lot more like mellow and like sad music that kind of like molds together. Um, so I just prefer that sound. So anyway, we have 0 3 2 0 0 0. So these two fingers right here are the only two that are playing on the guitar at the moment. And I'm strumming every single string. And then we're gonna do the same exact shape. We're just gonna move each finger up a string. So this is going to go right there. This is going to go right there. Still the only two fingers playing. And you might know this is pretty much the same thing as a G chord. So a G would be the same thing, just with the third fret on the high E string also. See how high that is? We're going to drop it. Very similar chord, just not with that high note in there. I prefer that sound a lot more most of the time. So anyway, now that we have that, these are so get used to jumping between these two chords. So one more thing, if you're having trouble going between chords, especially bar chords, like a before you even think about moving your fingers, envision the chord in your head, envision what it's supposed to look like, envision what your fingers are going to do before you move into that chord shape. Once you have it in your head, it's a lot easier to go from this to this. You know what I mean? So just like envision what you're doing before you do it. It's going to speed up the process of learning a lot more, I promise you. So anyway, we have these two chords. We have gotten to the spacing portion of this video. This is very important. Please listen up, especially if you're a beginner or intermediate. I don't know much about music theory. However, I know how the spacing works, at least with these two chords. So we have these two chords, right? Let's say I wanted something different. Let's say I wanted something different than that. Let's say I wanted something different than that. Or that. Or that. You know, or this maybe. Here's the magic. Everything's on a spacing. If you ever taken a music class, you notice that there's whole steps, there's half steps. Whole steps can mean something different at times, yada, yada, yada. I don't know about it that much anymore. However, with these two cards, with these two strings that you have 0, 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, chords, or you can add fingers if the spacing is correct. So let's, for instance, look at the G string. That's the third to the bottom, the G string. If I add this to the, if I do the 4th fret while I'm playing these chords, it's going to sound like this. Now what's going to happen when I add it to the 3rd fret? Same string, like the G string, but if I play it on the 3rd fret. Not good, it's not what we want. This is where spacing comes in. This, okay, maybe it doesn't work 1 fret down, but what about 2 frets down? See that? It's just the spacing. So like if you go down to the B string, the 2nd to the bottom, let's try it on that 4th fret, just like we did with the G string. Uh-oh, ran into another problem. But now the only issue is we just have to find out what sounds nice, or what the spacing is for the B string. So it turns out that even though it didn't work for the G string on the 3rd fret, it does for the B string. And then you go down to the 1st on the B string, you skip a fret. And then, so like that's why these chords are super cool, is you can mess around with every single string as long as the spacing aligns, and it's gonna sound good 9 times out of 10, depending on what you want to sound good. So yeah, it's just like most strings, like the G string spaces, so like 0, 2, 4, 5. Now notice how it doesn't double step here. It's single steps. Some places you're gonna find that it single steps, and that's okay. That's just how notes work in music theory. Again, I don't know how music theory works. I'm just making stuff up out of my bum. But yeah, just like figure out, so like this spacing is like 2. Same with the note above it, the D string. So just like it's usually either 2-4-5 or 1-3-5. There's just know that there's gaps between some and there's gaps between not all of them. That's all I'm gonna say. Go out on your own, experiment with it, experiment what goes together, what doesn't, and you're just gonna find cool chords that you are like pretty much creating in your mind because you're not looking at like a chart to look at them or anything. You're just playing what the spacing allows you to play. Remember that. Don't let the spacing control you. You control the spacing. So now that we have that out of the way, we know that spacing creates. I don't know if this works with other chords. It works really well with these two guys when you hop between these guys. But you can just create from such a simple chord to like ba, 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 ba. You know what I mean? It's just like you can just do a lot of cool things. So now that we have that out of the way, let's get to the actual tutorial of the song. So I'm gonna go kind of quick. If you guys have criticism about how I teach, like when I'm teaching, please let me know because I don't know how to teach that good yet. But I hope to be better because I really do want to teach you guys how to be cool little guitarists who can do such cool things and people think it's cool because it is cool. So with that basic chord shape, the first chord of the song, we're just gonna add our pinky to the 4th fret of the D string. Remember, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie, D string. 3rd one from the top. Now you may be wondering, Joey, why do you still have your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, even though it's not doing anything? Not changing, so like going from this to this is awesome. Just because we're not playing on the 2nd fret of this anymore doesn't mean we can't have our finger there anymore. It's not doing anything anyway. It's a lot easier to transition from this to this than it is to have this finger off and transition from this, and then you have to now find it to that. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a lot easier to just like keep it the way it is if it doesn't conflict with anything. So since this guy's not doing anything anyway, I'm just gonna keep it there even though it really doesn't have anything to say on this type of chord. So we have 0, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0. And then we're just gonna move it up just as we were doing, except we're gonna keep that pinky right there. And now this ring finger is actually doing something because it's playing the 2nd fret of the A string instead of the D string. So we have 3, 2, 4, 0, 0, 0. And that's the beginning of the song. So the way I play it is I go, you said you call again, you didn't, that's a lie. You said it's 12 p.m., you wouldn't be so high again, I lied. So now I'm gonna do a chocolate bar analogy. So we play this for 2 chocolate bars. We play this note for 2 chocolate bars. So the you said you call again, you didn't, that's a lie. And then when you switch to that, we're gonna play it for that's a lie. You said it's 12 p.m., you wouldn't be so high again, I lied. So we're mixing up the chocolate bars when we move up. So here we have a uniform 2 chocolate bars that are the same. 2. No, wait, I messed that up. Do not listen to my counting there. Anyway, you have 2 chocolate bars, right? You move up, you're on chocolate bar number 3. Instead of doing 2 of the same chocolate bars with this chord, we switch up the chocolate bars halfway through. So we have 1 full chocolate bar, and then half a chocolate bar right here, and then another half. All that analogy is explaining is like how like a bar in music works. For my song, for my music, I don't pay attention to any of that stuff, so I don't know like actually like how many counts are in between my stuff. I'm pretty sure it's like 2, so it'd be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's actually that. That's probably a lot more simple of a way to explain it, but I like chocolate bars. So yeah, anyway, you have 2 full chocolate bars, and then you switch it to this full chocolate bar, only 1 chocolate bar, and then half a chocolate bar, and the remaining half chocolate bar. So there's 4 chocolate bars in total, and you're just divvying them up based on that. So altogether, we have. You said you call again, you didn't, that's a lie. You said it's 12 p.m. You wouldn't be so high again. I lied. And then we get into the chorus. We got new chords incoming. Same exact, it's pretty much the same thing. But we have 0, 3, 2, 4, 0, 0. So now we're playing the 4th fret of the G string. We just added that. With our spacing rule, remember the spacing rule, we added that. So now we have, we're gonna play that for 1.5 chocolate bars, switch to this for half a chocolate bar, so it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 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 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So anyway, hopefully the chocolate bar analogy is helping some people. I tried and counted just there now to like, if you like, I don't know. I feel like the chocolate bar analogy is going to cause some chaos. But, so anyway, you do that twice. So you have like the... what I'm doing at the end there for my last chocolate bar, half of it is getting played as 0, 3, 2, 4, 0, 0, so like ba, and then I'm switching it, my pinky's going up to the D string for the original note we played in the song. So it's like so anyway, you do that whole sequence twice, then you just repeat everything. And so like after you do like the chorus and after you're done, you go back to, you said you call again, didn't, that's a lie. You said it's 12 p.m. You wouldn't be so high again. I lied. So anyway, that's how you do that. And yeah, listen to the song that I do. You can follow along pretty easily, I feel like. But that's really all you need. I felt like this tutorial went pretty roughly, if I'm going to be honest with you. But hopefully I taught you guys a little something about guitar. Like, it's a really simple song. I was hoping to mainly like get the point across about like how spacing affects those chords specifically, at least. And just like how you can like use spacing to like, cause like if you use that and you like go do like the math and go, blah, 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 you can like do like some cool chords up here. So like I'm sure like this is what 2, 2, that. See, like I don't even know what chord that that wasn't even popping into my head. I just did the spacing rule and I went, blah, 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 and I found my way up there and it still worked. So. Spacing. Remember that always. Yeah, I really apologize. If y'all want like a better tutorial, let me know, because that might have been really rough. But I hope I taught something valuable today. And yeah, just let me know what y'all want. I hope y'all have awesome days. And yeah, bye.